Hey guys, welcome back to the Crooked River in Eastern. Today I want to talk about chain link fence. I, at some point in the past, found a video somewhere on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, or just guys talking about it, either way, making your own chain link fence. I mean, I know Walthers has a kit. It's probably pretty similar to this, made out of plastic and probably similar type screening. But I thought it's got to be a budget way to do it. So anyways, this is going to be kind of a how I do, and this is what I've come up with. Not saying it's the best way, but it seems to be working out pretty well for me. So I've already prepared some things because this video is going to be really long as it is because I just don't edit very well. Some materials. What I'm going to use for my rails, and you can see that in the video, posts and rails. I'm using this here wire. It's a jeweler's wire. Comes in rolls like that. It's about $5, maybe less. I don't remember what I paid for it. It was at Joann Fabrics or Michaels, one of those two. So I'm going to use that, and of course, I'm going to solder, so I need my soldering iron. I got some flux, and I have some solder. I'm using that jeweler's wire because I'm just not good at soldering, and it takes the solder well. I tried using stuff like this. No, this is green. I used this when I was making my pine trees and stuff. That's a whole other video that I probably could do a video on that too. It was kind of really easy, really nice, fun. I couldn't get solder to stick to this stuff for the life of me. I even tried to get some of that coating off of there, and it just wouldn't stick. I was getting frustrated. So you could probably use copper wire. This was 20 gauge. I'm sure you can use that, and it would work just as fine. Because you're going to paint it anyways. You paint it silver or gray or whatever. I did this one in gray. I need to do a little bit more to it. So I did it with my airbrush in gray and some rust on it as well. You could use a spray can. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. You can use a spray can, airbrush, whatever. Now, what I use for, believe it or not, you could use screening, I'm sure. But this cost about $1, $1.50 at Walmart. I think you could get it at dollar stores as well. It is wetting tool. I think that's how you pronounce it, tool. They make wedding veils and different stuff like that out of it. But here you go. I mean, it looks like chain link, and I think the links are pretty, I don't know if that's making it better or worse. Links look pretty close, So that's what I'm using. And if you cut things right, you can get, about 3 of these out of one roll, one width of the roll. I'm doing mine 8 feet high, 8 scale feet. So I finally did get my scale ruler, and so that's helpful. I was in need of one for a while. Now this I already kind of set up. I took this board, for the lack of not having a jig, what I did was I measured everything out. I measured this as 8-foot section, and then I drew out my lines. I did my middle line, and they're a little wavy. I mean, like I said, I'm not perfect at it. I'm getting a little better as I go. You could probably make some kind of a jig where these would sit right in, but I didn't do that. This is just electrical tape. I taped each little section to kind of hold it in place while I soldered. I got these last 3 little pieces over here that I'll do on camera, I guess. But anyways, that's what I did, and I left the post a little long because I figured down here at the bottom, I got 11 posts, and down here I left like 4 or 5 of them to stick down in the foam because I use foam as a base. And then actually this one I didn't do it on, but the ones I've been making for around my container yard, I'm leaving the tops a little bit long too. So I could bend them over just a tad, like an L shape, a little bit of an L bend in them for barbed wire. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for barbed wire yet, if I could get away with just doing maybe some thread or something like that. We'll see. Just a thought. If it doesn't work out, I'll just cut those off flush or leave them without any kind of thread on it and whatever. We'll figure it out. I'm not that particular. Some guys are really particular about stuff. I'm a little more laid back as far as that goes. I want it to look good. I want it to look really nice and right, but at the same time, I'm not going to lose a lot of sleep over things like that. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to attempt to turn this camera down so you can see the board that I'm working on. I don't know how well it's going to show. So I'm going to put just a little bit of flux on these little areas because I'm not the best solderer, if I'm being honest. I got two I'm going to do here on camera. It's just so time consuming to do much more than that. So try not to burn my fingers off. Iron's nice and hot. I just kind of eyeball it as far as how high I want that to go for that barbed wire part. There we go. Got it. Now I go down the line. And you can kind of straighten these out as you go. Told you I'm not the best at soldering, guys. So don't make fun of me. Everything runs. Not the best at soldering, but everything runs. All my wires are soldered up. They may not look the prettiest. You know, my rails are all, you know, my feeders are all dropped and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, it may not look the prettiest, but damn it, it works. All right, there's that one. I got one last one I'll do here real quick. Then we'll go into putting that chain link on. And this is pretty soft, this material, so it does bend fairly easily. So, I mean, it's good and bad, I guess. Let go. Damn it. Never been accused of being the most gentle. My dad used to say I was like a bull in a china shop. I mean, it's a pretty simple concept, you know. I think I have gotten so much flux on this board already that this tape just doesn't want to stick very well. But had it and I messed with it. I've been having to doing that. Trying to straighten the bottom rail out at the same time, which is not working great. Of course, because I'm trying to do this on camera, it's acting up on me. I did all those other ones without any issue. That don't look real pretty. All right, I'm going to hear anything from the peanut gallery, okay? Jeez. I didn't think that was ever going to happen, guys. Alright, that's enough of that nonsense. So I'll start down at this end so I don't burn my fingers over there. Let that cool down a bit. I just untape it. And try not to solder my joints in the process. That one broke free for some damn reason. Alright, give that a try. Like I said, it's kind of time consuming. I've already made like 2 others of these, and then I had the one I already showed you. So I need like, I think 5 of these total to go around my around the back side anyways of my container yard. The side near the edge of the table, I'm not going to do a fence, I don't believe. It's just going to get knocked and bent and stuff too much. Because I just feel it's just going to be a pain. I'll be reaching over a fence trying to get to what I need. So anyways, there's your frame. You know, like I said, it's not beautiful, but it works. You know. I don't know if that light's good or bad, if it's too bright. Maybe that way. Sorry guys, I'm just playing with this. Alright, so anyways, now I'm going to turn it over so that, I mean, you can see there's the flat side, I mean the ridged side and the flat side, so I'm going to put the flat side down, or up. And then, attempt to put this piece of netting over top of it. What I am going to do though is, this edge here got to be a little bit long, so I'm just going to kind of clip those off. I guess I could try to file them down closer or whatever, guys, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Not too bad. Alright. Take some of this tape here. Tape a couple of these down so it somewhat stays in place. Alright. Like I said, I use this here. It's a Stick and Seal, Lock by Loctite. It's a crystal clear adhesive. And I'm going to lightly, I gotta get some of the, it does kind of tend to harden. I don't know why it does that, because I have the cap on, but and again, you could probably use some type of super glue. You don't need a lot of it on there, and try not to get all those big hairy pieces. And of course, because I'm trying to do this on camera, it's going to act like a big jerk. So I try to get it lined up as close as I can. Especially at the top, because it's kind of going to be a pain in the neck to cut at the top where that barbed wire is at. But not impossible. Just kind of work my way down with it. Come on now. And I try to pull it at least a little bit taut so it's not bunched up, and you know, like a regular chain link fence would not have all big bunches in it usually. And I'm not saying this is a brand new fence, but I still wanted to look somewhat maintained at least. I did make a fence, a small piece of fence over by my asphalt plant. It was like an original attempt at it, and I used that other wire I was showing you. I ended up having a super glue. You could use that wire. I ended up super gluing the heck out of it, though. It really was way more, believe it or not, way more intensive than this. Like just time consuming and aggravating in general for me. But if you ask my family, it don't take much to aggravate me, I guess. They do it just to be funny, I think. They know I get all bent out of shape easy sometimes. So, anyways. If you guys have any better ideas, put them down in the comments or whatever, but I don't think it comes out too bad myself. And like I said, I'll take a scissors to trim this down, or you can do a real sharp X-Acto knife once this dries up. Get that a little off there. Might unsolder this piece here and bring that down. Let me move this camera up now. See my ugly mug a little bit. But yeah, like I said, so I have to do that and trim it down. Just take a scissors with that. Just kind of get right up along the rail as close as I can. Trim it. Yeah, for the video, I'm just going to kind of get it close, and then I'll touch this up later. But I mean, it trims up pretty easy. Honestly, you probably could take some of these pieces like this and cut them into make it into like junk, like for a junkyard, paint them up and rust them up, and I think I might have to do that. I'm thinking about it. Maybe for my junkyard if I ever get around to building it. Probably make some scrap loads, or I don't know if you could maybe roll that up, and make it something for sale. Like if you had a hardware store or something, they sell them in those rolls, like at the big box Lowe's and Home Depot type places. This kind of like real flimsy. We might be better off trying to do that with more of a metal screen to roll it up. I don't know if that would work as well with this. But just to lay it in a flat car or lay it in a junkyard as some old chain link fence, probably worked just fine. All right. Anyhow, like I said, a little bit of trimming up still. Then what I do right here, so let's see, that's going to be the front. Let me think. I think the chain, I think the barbed wire is going to drive me nuts here. Barbed wire would be tipped forward out, I think. So I'm just going to take a little pair of needle nose pliers. Get off of there. Just tip them forward. And again, guys, this isn't perfect, you know, I mean, I'm not sure if the barbed wire would be on every post or just some posts. So I should have taken a look at that at a barbed wire fence before I decided to do this, but either way. I don't bend them over too far, they just go enough. These kind of fences are all over, like around just about any kind of major industrial type business. So there you go. Kind of see them. The camera. You know. But yeah, like you see, I need to clean it up a little bit here and there. But for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to get too much more into it. And then, you know, it sits pretty well. And, you know, I'm taking to hit them together. You know, just make a length of fences upside down. Upside down and backwards. So you can either put them together like that, or, I mean, I guess I could have left these long maybe on each end and then tried to join them somehow, or left this side longer so I could just solder it like when I decide where they go, or, you know, I don't know. Anyways, guys, I'm pushing almost 25 minutes. I might maybe split this into 2 parts if I could figure that out. But thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, please. Appreciate all the support. And, yeah, we'll try this again with something else. Maybe I will do